Okay, so like definitely the computer impression right now as well, like the strategy that the Rapika showed to using a hand like I'm going to bring it to this precisely the distraction strategy is definitely not the computer impression because like right now since like as like Loro and like the two other kind of group members are like working towards like Rapika and gone like who's on like hiding it down the defensive like I'm different like so like exactly like don't like Sarapika would be well fully aware that while on the defensive they stand absolutely no chance of being able to like bring down even three kind of members in the floor. Definitely like doesn't during Russia. So essentially because of that, like Korapika might be totally planning on using Corona as like a distractor so that like Korapika so that like Korapika was totally hoping that Floro and the two final members would be chasing after Dawn so that like at that point for Korapika it's like stealthy follow them from behind it with like ensuring that absolute stealth while following them from behind and that way for Korapika just especially launch an ambush attack on especially Floro who's like Korapika who so Rafika is like well fully aware right now as like being like the leader of its man, especially when you them themselves. So like that would be like their best bet of being able to like defeat them, bring down at least those three man members would be what so Rafika would be thinking. So like I'm just looking right now two positives like gone coming out of hiding and like basically running along a different direction, expecting like all three of like those Flora and like the two other random group members to let suddenly chase after Dawn. So like both for Africa and Dawn would be like for Africa, it would be objecting this exact strategy of for Africa and like the first reason for Africa coming up with such a strategy would be really big due to like Kurapika totally naively assuming that basically Cloro and like the two other final group members might have only sent like one of their projects and only like Kurapika and Bomb. So this might be the special reason some of the thing for like Kurapika even most likely about to like bring up such a strategy, this might have strategy through bonus definitely with the way ambition. So like I'm just looking precisely two possibilities. Either like once God plays out like the distraction strategy and also like a different direction and was different like the three of them, like Loro and like two other friends who was chasing after God. But while even doing that, like Loro would be well and fully aware as to like what these two would be like the first strategy that these two would be planning that Loro would and the two other friends would be totally having their guard up as they would be chasing after God because they would be totally expecting an end to set like for it's definitely made by like the other by the other individuals who's like present they were able to significantly ignite of the range. So like I'm considering the one positive that I'm considering is like Kurapika like Flora and the two other kind of women was like chasing after them and like Kurapika totally like attempting at her ambush attack on Flora but like Flora easily being able to like block that attack of ambush attack of Kurapika especially due to like Flora expecting the attack. So at that point, like the whole Kurapika Flora fight, like big static it's like one possibility that I'm also bringing. The other possibility that I'm also bringing is like while like Bond will be attempting this like strategy of for this vaccine strategy of for Africa and Bond will be showing himself and basically Bond will be like running around the different direction. Expecting like the all three like Flora and the two other planets or the states after Bond like at that point like for Africa's strategy is totally backfiring is like the other possibility that I'm also bringing. Just like Flora straight away telling Shizuku and like the other female planet members to like certainly chase after Bond while Flora will be standing right there like basically since the law would be like precisely since like the presence of like even the like one running in one direction like one like Flora will be precisely able to like sense like the presence of like the other individual hiding right there behind like some box or something. So behind something or something. So that game for Africa. So like that way, like the whole Cloro was for Africa fight starting off. It's like the other person scenario that was like also like definitely when those internet versus things like that. And Cloro definitely has a genuine concern towards like Nobunaga. And Cloro on the along the lines of like basically like see Cloro would be only taking Nobunaga, even though Nobunaga doesn't have like any sort of like special abilities that would be like totally coming in handy when it comes to like basically looting from like the options like but still Nobunaga would be one among like the current strongest fighters of like the fan definitely like so like Laura would be definitely fight having seeing like the whole skills and strength of Nobunaga for the purchase as like an asset to like the character so like firstly because of this reason alone will be like what I'm considering like Laura would be totally fighting Nobunaga as like a purchase member of like the Panato and the last thing Laura would want would be for Nobunaga to do something foolish and die, end up dying. So like over again. So like definitely my person remembers is that like that's the reason for like Flora not going along with like the group of Nobunaga to precisely chase after the car will be precisely used at Flora only, having a feeling that most likely since like they were like the ones that were chasing after the car, like precisely Flora would most likely have a feeling that basically the precise ones that are chasing after them, like precisely the precise two individuals that are chasing after them, like basically one of them would be precisely most likely like the chain user and this would all be a trap set for like Phantom by the chain user, and hence why most likely the chain user would be currently following after like the Phantom would be a feeling that Flora might have had, and this might be the precise reason for like Flora, since like since like Flora has knows of like the fortune poem, like hinting at like the Nobunaga possible that like basically I think so like basically due to those reasons, like Ambassador Oliver, it might have been precisely to ensure that the safety of Nobunaga that basically Flora might have told Nobunaga to like go ahead and chase after like the uh, after the car along with like Otofi and like Pakunoda. So totally and fully ensure like Nobunaga doesn't do anything that we to absolutely and fully like ensure like Nobunaga's safety. It might have been what Flora might have done. The precise reason for or taking that decision is definitely my very interesting. So basically, if that one of my personal theory ends up being right, and if that is the scenario is basically Cloros standing right there while ordering like the Shizuko and like the other female and the member to like chase after like gone, then they're only prepping the scenario to be like eventually once like those two female panels members catching up to like Gon, and at that point, like Gon versus Shizuku battle is happening, while like the other female panel member won't be like intervening in that fight and basically watching that fight of Gon from like sideline. So like at that point, I was only putting as like and Gon would be totally having his like morale extremely down, especially with like him realizing that basically Floro just ran up and didn't chase after him, and so like in Gon's mind it would be like Gon would be totally thinking along the lines of like right now like Kurapika would be facing off against like the leader of the Japan, so all by herself while she's on the defensive. So Dono they totally extremely worried for like Kurapika. As like the India at that point, like Kurapika's fight against Flora would be happening on one side, while like Gon was on which thing like Morale absolutely down would be facing off against like Shizuku. And in that fight end of the spring, Shizuku totally straight away as the fight begins to felt like Shizuku totally overpowering and getting the upper hand in her fight against like like the scenario that I'm delivering. So like I'm delivering maybe a scenario with like Shizuku totally overpowering and Shizuku maybe about to take Gon's like and Shizuku badly overpowering Gon. So like and maybe she's also about to take Gon's life. But like, and that very last second is when I'm supposed to roll it, you know, technically Killua will be precisely making it to that precise location. So like at that point, I'm supposed to roll it, that Killua, especially as Killua shows up, like Gon feeling shortly relieved. Like Gon at that point might have feel like having like morale completely down and might even be like and so like I'm supposed to bring right then like Killua showing up to that precise location might like totally boost like Gon's morale that like at that very last second, Gon by himself might be able to like chop like that to do to like final attack or something. It's like the scenario that I was given. So like Gon just like having this like morale boosted up like fighting off against like once again like fighting off against like Shizuku and this time like since like Gon's like morale boost, Gon would be having this like morale boost like the fight would be like totally Gon will be slowly getting the upper hand against like Shizuku while Regulus Killua will be showing up like the fight between that other female panel first member versus like Killua would be starting off. So like these two fights happening on one side while like the Kurapika versus Bloro fight happening in that one in like another location. So like that fight between like Kurapika and Bloro progressing to the point where like Bloro eventually only or and defeats and as like Bloro would be about to take Kurapika's life at that very last second, like either Chloro being about to take Kurapika's life or like Chloro deciding to like basically steal away like Kurapika's like chain power, like chain ability powers, like so like at that very last second is when Empress is preparing to talk to like Snake is like grand entrance and then like the whole and that would be the point when like the whole final Chloro versus Shizuka fight would be beginning, like the Vincent scenario that Empress is delivering and noticing to the Empress. And so like I'm just sticking to my question possible during question that basically the car in which like the bodyguard front of the Rafi is driving like among the three dogs present in that car like only one among the three dogs will be like an actual dog. The other two will be precisely Zeno as well as Silva possibly in disguise as per like rules and as acting accordingly as per like the secret strategical plan of like Kurapika between like Kurapika and Silva and Zeno. It's definitely about the benefit because like Kurapika might not only use Silva as like to precisely threaten like Silva like this like precise for example like things like Kurapika would be a less layer as like how process like Zeno and Silva is like Silva. So like I'm just different potentially like Sorapia probably specifically remember the production that Sorapia had only used that to again like Silva and then was like perfectly blackmail them and threaten them if that is really if like Kilua even Kilua is definitely going to like eventually like fight like the Phantom group. So like if we don't get your help like Silva and Zenos help then that would possibly mean that Kilua might actually die in like the process of like that fighting. So like so in that way like I'm considering like Sorapika might have like even way back like might have totally found precisely once like the 10 dons had given up on like the hunts of like the Phantom Proof. Like basically at that point itself, like might have been when Kurapika might have thrown them and like flattering them into like getting the as well as back to like basically join Kurapika's team to like bring down the Phantom Proof. It's definitely not bring so like those two, especially things like Kurapika, especially things like Kilwa is like a transmuter and then Pipe is like putting like exactly like Kilwa as well as Silva probably definitely would be that transmit of like a transmutation type. So like about different transmutation type would be most likely having powers that innate powers that would allow them to like shape shift and transform into like animals in the field and looking to the temperature. So like both different using that precise net ability like especially Silva as well as Venom might have transform shape shifted into the dogs definitely my personal temperature. So like potentially those two dogs in that in that pole like the bodyguard which like the bodyguard friend of like Borapika's driving he just chased after like Nobunaga and the other kind of people but like those precise other two dogs will be most likely like Silva and Zeno in like that transform dog but definitely my personal temperature. So like according to Rembrandt's like I'm leaning more towards the possibility that that's the best bodyguard friend of the Rafi. I was driving the car like basically in being that totally unaware of that basically that two other dogs in the car like actually being like Silva assassins like Protect family Silva and Zeno in this case. So definitely my question very much. And what might have happened might have been like since he's like that bodyguard friend of Sorapika so fond of dogs like I'm the friend Sorapika might have used like potentially used the strategy of like gifting him these two dogs, which might have been definitely like Silva and Zeno in this case and that okay, so like definitely my consider correction right now. So like even right now, even after like a chloro events being well and fully aware that like the fake car that I was in like that precise car that they were chasing that car that the body of front of Florida was driving like still right now, even right now for like chloro to decide to like still go up to like that precise hotel where that fake starlet I initially was like but the brain totally would have to do like fluoro like having feeling that full inclination to like the and also his inclination to like potentially go on and kill or possibly like working toward working in as like a team with like the chain user like basically fluoro would definitely having like the fierce inclination to think along such lines and it not won't just be having to do with that just that female Panabro member like having hunch. But like even more than that, like from Floro's point of view, Floro would only think that like precisely when they were like chasing after like the fake Scarlet I was precisely like coincidentally like precisely was like the precise moment when they were precisely being followed by what Floro currently would be dealing as like Gon and Killua. So like Floro would only think along the lines as if, like that definitely wasn't coincident. That definitely might have definitely have something to do with like the changes of setting up some sort of a trap for like attempting at setting some sort of a trap for like the Floro and like the other two finalists and like the fans of them. Definitely my those so like Floro right now, Floro's like decision to like basically still head to like the precise portal where like the fake Charlotte I currently isn't present in, but was initially present in. Like basically that would only have to do with like Floro wanting to like go up to that portal and stuff. throughout like the entirety of like the sort of exact room where like the fake Scarlet I initially was to like precisely because like Flora might be expecting two possibilities either for like the actual change user to be most likely hiding in that hotel and basically to conceal that location of like the chain user most likely having like sent someone away to get like the fake Scarlet I away and like that way to like hide within like that the changes are possibly having figured out about like the phantom probe that like possibly coming to that hotel location through like the fake Charlotte type because like my procedure and reactions are like precisely when Chloro had sensed like two uh individuals like two persons like they will be chasing after like Chloro and like the phantom probe while they were precisely chasing after like the fake Charlotte in that car that the bodyguard from the Pura was driving. Like at that point, like Laura might have genuinely felt that basically those two persons chasing after them and following them might definitely be precisely one of them. Those two persons would definitely be like the chain user might have been what Laura might have felt. So this might be out of this confidence might have been like the present or reason for Laura even sending Nobunaga along with like Otopi and Pakunoda to like supposedly chase after that fake Scarlet Eye containing car. It's definitely my positive impression because like Laura might have been that much confident that they really definitely the two like mysterious persons like chasing after them like definitely that the chain user would definitely won't be in that car that contains like the fake Scarlet Eye. Might have been one thing that Clara might have been absolutely confident about, and hence why it would be like so for like Clara sending Nobunaga to like chase after that fake car. It's definitely my person to emerge. So like even after that, like basically Chloro even figure right now would be totally saying that basically genuinely believing that those two effect two persons that were chasing after like Chloro and the Phantom Throw back then might was definitely in fact like Kindu and gone and Kindu is definitely my person to emerge. So precisely connecting all this like Chloro might be currently saying that basically definitely, since like the chain user definitely might have definitely not been in that car that contains like the play car style. And since like the first two persons that even chased after like Chloro and like Chloro and like the planet Chloro, even not being like ending up not being like the chain user. So like definitely my personal impression that like right now Chloro would be like totally coming to the conclusion that like most likely the chain user would be currently hiding within that precise within that precise portal. It's definitely my consideration. So like this would be one main reason for like Floro right now deciding to like head towards that hotel. Like Floro, they are either expecting like the chain user precisely being present in that precise hotel or they're like initially like the fake car like was this would be one possibility that Floro is thinking like either the chain user being precisely present in that room or like either if like, the chain user isn't present in that room, definitely Floro will be only expecting to like through like searching that entirety of like that room, Floro will be only expecting to like find some sort of at least a single evidence that might totally connect like most likely the that might totally reveal like the chain user is in fact connected to these two like two bonds and Kilua. That's definitely my personal arrangement. But like totally to like figure this out would be definitely the first reason for like solo right now. Even by being well and fully aware of like the fake Scarlet I not being in that professor hotel room that Cloro still deciding to like adopt to that professor hotel room. That's definitely my personal impression. So like right now my personal impression is that like right now Cloro even deciding to like still head off to that professor hotel where like even while realizing the things that I have is still not present in that photo, and like precisely, it might also have to do with like Laura only saying maybe of like the possibility of like the changes are possibly hiding in that precise photo, precisely also because of like basically since like Laura currently would be like thinking back and realizing that basically since like Laura when Cloro had read like a sort of like Boston poem like Cloro, which Cloro even right now those different Cloro would be genuinely believing that the Boston poem of Hisoka, which was like totally different to all the remaining kind of members, might have been like the genuine Boston poem of Hisoka. Like Cloro might have definitely not have noticed Hisoka changing his like Boston poem. Just the name of the dimension. So like Cloro even to the person would be genuinely believing that that was like the actual Boston poem of Hisoka. And since it through that Boston poem, it was revealed that basically Hisoka had made like phone contact with like the chain user like definitely like Floro right now would be the only thing that like even Floro's like current plans to like precisely like find like the chain user through like the fake Scarlet type through Call of Duty like they really even that might have been precisely phoned to like the phone and reported to like the chain user precisely through Shizuoka would be what like Floro currently would be thinking, and that being like the main and Floro right now would be thinking that that might have definitely been the reason for like definitely Floro right now would be totally thinking that basically definitely that car that contained like the fake car that I would definitely in that car definitely like the changes are definitely like almost 90 percentage like Floro will be sure that basically that car that contains like the fake car that I definitely wouldn't be having like the chain user in it. It's definitely my personal impression. And since like since like the ones that Flora right now would be believing that chased after them was precisely exactly Corn and Kilua right then as well. So like Floro right now would be like totally saying like so, since like even after going through or putting in all this effort and going through all this extent like still like precisely the chain user still being able to like evade Floro and through away precisely because of like Shizuoka was like even just now like having phone and reported to like the chain user about like them trying to like find like the changes of through both of the and like the fake sanitize that name of the environment. So like connecting on like Loro might be currently seeing that actually. So like the change user might be currently totally hiding in that size hotel room, thinking that the change user is like totally and absolutely safe. So like Loro would be totally even while currently heading off to like the surprise hotel room with like the absolute realization that like the fake Scarlet is not present in that hotel room. Still, Florence might have like a certain level of expectation of finding like the chain user in that precise hotel room, or like finding absolute a lot of clues as to like maybe like as to like the connection, the possible connection between if like a possible connection exists between like the chain user of Hisoka and like Gon and Killua, or like if Flora might be also hoping for like a possibility of like basically being able to like at least find like a photo as to like the change user's photo like that might be also like an expectation Flora would be like uh, having like kind of like a remote expectation Flora would be having as Flora currently will be heading off to like the photo. It's definitely my personal emission and Flora will be so desperate to like see what like the chain user actually looks like. It's definitely my personal emission. So I like finding the chain user would be that much lesser of a task, easier of a task for like Flora improve. It's definitely my personal emission. So like right now, we're only putting Flora searching, eventually reaching once like Flora will be reaching like the hotel room Flora, searching the entirety of like the hotel room and Flora not even finding a single photo or anything of like for applicants like the scenario that I'm considering. But still considering it will be at like for all the extremely disappointed. I'm considering it will be presented then that I'm considering like the database of like the bodyguard list of Technostrada will be updated and I'm considering in that updated list like I'm considering precisely right then as Chloro will be searching like the entirety of like the that hotel room and not finding anything is like the scenario that I'm putting. And then Flora would be kind of like frustrated and disappointed at that first moment. I'm precisely preparing for Shal to like precisely Flora getting a call from Shal and like Shal making the reveal that basically we have found like the change user like as to like the appearance like as to like what the change user looks like and basically straight away there would be definitely a PC in that precise hotel room and they are like I'm preparing Shal totally sending like the photo of like the same user. And at that point would be when I'm preparing it for like Cloro to like actually Cloro and like the two other fan group and like the fan group members like Cloro actually like it would be only at that point that Cloro would be like finding out like what like the change user looks like. It's definitely the scenario, which is scenario that I'm only predicting and my perspective in the yes, so like definitely not taking the impression that I'm still thinking about those that especially since like for Africa like I found or exactly like salt coffee like I'm preferring like definitely at the moment for Africa might have even got stolen and taken like the Scarlet Island. At that moment itself like for Africa might have been be able to tell that it was like a fake Scarlet Island. So like the entire thing looked like for Africa even so carefully, especially like it's obvious that they really answer like how extremely effective like the startup guy is for Africa. Yet for Africa, someone like for Africa can actually hand over like Scarlet Eyes to like the bodyguard friends of like for Africa. just so that like that bodyguard friend of Kurapika could like hand it over to precisely Nosferatu settling with Dragon. So like that would all be like something like the actual Kurapika would genuinely want at all day. That would be like the last thing that Kurapika would actually do. So if Kurapika even doing such things would be definitely with like that absolute perfect realization from Kurapika's point of view that like that exact Scarlet Eye is like not the real but like fake Scarlet Eye. And that might have all been part of Kurapika's master strategy. So like slightly Kurapika and Hisoka most likely like their master strategy is like eventually lure like the Phantom Troop into that precise hotel. And like even right before that to like split like the panel group so that like that splitting would be absolutely necessary for like according to like for against Hisoka's plan for like Hisoka to be confident enough to be able to like fight off against Zoro and you know for the Hisoka to have like a one versus one fight with like confidence against like Zoro the splitting up of the probably absolutely necessary. So this might be like the precise strategy that like Kurapika and Hisoka might have precisely secretly formed and created with like precisely like Kurapika even phoning like that says bodyguard front to basically escape with like the fake Starland Eye. Like basically that might have been precisely my in the remunerations that might have been precisely the splitting up of like the financial strategy that Kurapika might have done. Is definitely my in the remuneration. So like precisely with like that bodyguard friend of Kurapika, like taking the fake Scarlet Eye and like trying to escape with like the car, the phantom troop chasing after the car, and right then like according to like Kurapika's master strategy might have been Kurapika precisely instantly deciding to like run and follow the phantom troop so that like they would totally be able to like detect like Kurapika and Bronze person. So that like at that point like the phantom troop would be in such confusion and dilemma that like they would that this would totally lead to like the Floro taking the decision to like totally split like the fan the 6 member phantom troop member right then to like three like to for that 6 member phantom troop member to like split up and then like basically that way like eventually so like my personal impressions were like according to most likely according to like Hisoka as well as Kurapika's like secret strategical plan like I'm going friends. Hisoka might have actually originally been supposed to like show up in that precise alleyway when Floro and like the two the female band of members have just after gone and Kurapika into that alleyway. Like at that point I was interpreting like especially Hisoka should have actually shown up into that precise alleyway location and like the fight between like Hisoka and at that point like Kurapika and like the Hisoka might have totally planned on basically bringing down Floro. This definitely my consideration Floro and like those other two female kind of members together along with Gon as well. Might have been like Kurapika's plan, actual plan is definitely my consideration. Kurapika and Hisoka's actual plan back then was definitely my consideration, but like the plan might have went wrong with Black Hisoka not being able to like most likely make it to that alleyway location on time. That might have been what might have happened. So like instead like still Kurapika totally getting like lucky precisely through like Killua precisely throwing up to that precise alleyway location precisely through that exact alleyway path. Like ending up being that absolute left for Kurapika playing out and with like currently with like Gon and Killua getting captured by the final drop and still like once again my personal impression like would be totally in like Kurapika's favor but like Cloro still deciding to like head to precisely that portal where the fake tablet I initially was. So like basically right now on my personal impression is where like right now with like Leorio all of a sudden like rushing like Leorio who I think like have totally seen like basically Kurapika and Gon running after like the Phantom Troop who were like the Phantom Troop who were like running after the car that contained like the fake tablet right. Basically even though Leorio have had I think like have seen orders like still Leorio all of a sudden right now is watching to get to that precise portal where like where like the fake Charlotte like currently not even is present in like skill for Leorio to like currently all of a sudden rush to totally rush to like get to that portal movie especially also according to like Kurapika's next plan. This Kurapika might have secretly discussed with like Hisoka after like Chloro had taken Gon and Killua and was like and Chloro had made the decision that he's going to like head off to that they are going to head off to that precise portal is definitely my consideration. So like after that, like Kurapika as for like the counter attack, like next strategy, like Kurapika might have totally once again called and phoned Hisoka and they might have totally made their and Hisoka might have totally revealed to Kurapika that like he wasn't able to like make it inside. So like I'm just different Kurapika and Hisoka might have formed their next strategical plan of like of like an attack, ambush attack on like the Phantom Group to bring down Floro and like the two other female kind of group members, and that might have been precisely uh, and that strategy might have been precisely currently that strategy is precisely the hotel strategy is definitely not intervention. So Kurapika might have only overheard like basically Floro like taking the decision to like head off to currently head off to like the hotel. So like I'm just differing according to like Kurapika and Hisoka's strategy current present updated strategy, like say both for Africa and Hisoka may be planning on like making that ambush attack on Floro and Floro precisely once like Floro along with like Gon and Chindo will be entering like with that precise hotel room. Like at that point might be when like Kurapika might be only planning on taking her ambush attack on Floro. The leader of the planet group along with Hisoka, it's definitely never good. So like right now all of a sudden for like Leorio totally all of a sudden like changing his track and deciding to like head off to like the precise portal would only and only have to do with like what this very same strategy of Kurapika where like Kurapika might have only phoned Leorio and might have only told him that basically only updated Leorio not about like the secret strategy of like Kurapika and Shizuoka but like Kurapika might have only phoned Leorio and might have told Leorio that is about like Gon and Killua being captured by Chloro like the leader of the planet and them heading to that place hotel. So like Kurapika might have phoned Leorio and told Leorio to like as soon as possible make it to that hotel. And this would all be part of that Kurapika's strategy to definitely that way corner like Floro and reflect to female planet group members. And also my personal impression of that like especially since like my personal theory is that like definitely other than Shizuko that other female planet group member definitely has like a soft spot towards like Hisoka and considering Hisoka by now might have totally manipulated that female planet group member and might have totally got her to the side of Hisoka to bring down Floro by now. It's definitely my person to embrace. So even while right now, like the person Floro would have that absolute thrust towards like that female kind of group number, she would be currently totally on the side of Hisoka and for Africa, definitely my person to embrace. On the side of Hisoka, definitely my person to embrace. So like I'm considering definitely for her to totally betray Floro precisely as like Floro and Shizuku would be like entering that precise portal room. At that point, I'm not different them like totally being cornered with like uh, one like Floro and Shizuku entering that portal. So I'm just differing definitely Kurapika. The changes of Kurapika, Leorio, as well as Hisoka, like totally cornering them. And like since they would be like bringing Gon as well as Killua as like prisoners uh, to that precise portal room. Like at that point, itself, I'm just differing so like definitely my Considerian Russians like straight away as like Floro and Shizuku along with like the female and the group member will be entering like that portal room. And they're all different straight away like without the delay most likely like Kurapika as well as Hisoka as well as like Leorio showing up and precisely like at that point itself like that other female panel would be member would be getting the courage and confidence to like make the reveal that she too was like totally betraying along with like Hisoka was like against like the side of Frollo and had joined the side of Hisoka and just like against the side of the Frollo. So like I'm considering this is like it's that precise female panel woman that has like basically using her spring and ability has basically like tied up Gon and Killua and considering her itself like while making that reveal like only freeing Gon and Killua. This is the scenario that I'm considering that way like precisely Floro and Shizuku totally being absolutely and fully cornered by the entirety of the with like the eventual scenario that I'm considering everything and I was considering this and all this could happen for like Floro and Shizuku we entering that interface hotel room. It's definitely the scenario that I'm considering everything my and my considering okay, so like definitely my business direction right now with like the data he can buy himself to like get the bodyguard from important facets. Definitely my business direction were like Nobunaga perfectly spotting that besides like that star and like Nobunaga perfectly and extremely encouraged Nobunaga encouraged and encouraged in like Nobunaga destroying that car like the scenario that I'm delivering and he would be like spotting precisely that bodyguard front of Kurapika there totally and fully and absolutely scared for this like the scenario that I'm delivering. So like at that point, like either telling at that point definitely I'm delivering Nobunaga to be totally extremely confused straight away at not finding like the change of definitely like Nobunaga straight away seeing how extremely scared that besides bodyguard front of Sorapika would be within that car, like it will be part of this for Nobunaga that person is definitely not the same. You can go like definitely Nobunaga being like extremely enraged as being like outsmarted again. So like to bring at that point like for Nobunaga to be extremely enraged that at that point I'm to bring Nobunaga totally about deciding to like take the life of that poor bodyguard friend of Sorapika. So like as like Nobunaga will be about to launch attack and then powered powerful attack at like that poor bodyguard front and would be about to take his life with it. At that very last second is when precisely something like the precise twist to happen with like the two among those dogs of like that bodyguard front like coming out of like their disguise and basically it being precisely Zeno as well as Silva. And then they totally putting like the fight to begin between like the team of like Zeno and Silva versus like the team of Nobunaga, Pakunoda, and Koldopi. It's definitely my positive impression. That way, precisely, that bodyguard extremely scared for bodyguard friend of Leporapia being like saved. But like definitely, I'm mostly putting with like Zeno's experience and like definitely Silva alongside Zeno, like and especially since like they are not even fighting against like the leader of the final group at all. Like not even fighting against like Loro so, right now. So like especially because of all through some definitely I'm mostly putting like the duo team of like Zeno and Silva will be strong enough to like totally or power and maybe totally off power and I'm also thinking like it things to happen according to like the fortune point. So like I'm also thinking most likely like these three might actually die. Like I'm also thinking I think like according to the fortune point like after like the whole chaos like chaos like situation like eventually like I'm also thinking it would be only six phantom troop members alone that will be like remaining. So like I'm also thinking these three might actually die through like the fight against like Sylvans and also separating that would be how like most likely like a Pakunoda for Toki as well as like Nobunaga would be dying. It's like the scenario that I'm considered of becoming an able to induction. And also my consider impressions were like basically since like I think like according to like the token poem it says like only six would be like a remaining six of like the final drop would be most likely remaining what I think. So like I'm also for instance I think the that token poem is really being right with like and it might only have to do with like three final pro members being taken out and dying by the hands of like Silva and Zeno. Precisely these three that are like Pakunoda, Totopi, as well as like Nobunaga dying that way. And as for like the remaining three Phantom Troop members, they would be having their life taken precisely by Hisoka. Put like Hisoka back in like the base of like the Phantom Troop, like Hisoka would have definitely before Hisoka even leaving and coming to like the open city. Right now, the thing like before that, like Hisoka would have taken at least like the life of like three fandom pro members, three or two fandom pro members. So that like eventually like it will be only six fandom pro members alone that will be remaining. 70 members will remain. So like in the case of Shizuku, I'm definitely predict Shizuku would only be getting captured. Shizuku definitely won't be dying. It's like that's also like the scenario that I'm going to do. Shizuku would definitely be getting captured, and I'm also bringing it to be possibly due to like Hisoka before heading to like the open city to basically like fulfill their goal and like their practical ultimate master plan, secret master plan between like Hisoka and Kurapika. Basically, before that, like Hisoka might have decided to definitely take the life of like either three or two final troop members from like that were staying back at like the base of like the final troop was definitely members in the members. So like that would and that's most likely being like the possible reason for like Hisoka even possibly not being able to like make it to like that alleyway location. So it's also my percentage reimbursement when Chloro and like the female band of members are chased after like gone and Surapika to the alleyway location. Like basically at that point, I'm still thinking of my percentage reimbursement that like Soka should have according to like the plan between like Soka and Surapika, Soka should have made it there on time. It's definitely my percentage reimbursement. But like Hisoka being late and not being able to like make it there might totally have to do with like Hisoka. It's possibly taking a bit more time than expected for Hisoka to like take out like two or three kind of group members from who are like staying back and like the fan group basis definitely my business mention. And I'm also bringing like the other fan group members staying there might not only escape like in that whole chaos like the others might not only escape. It's also like another possible scenarios that I'm considering all that thing. And that way like eventually like the fourth point being filled with like fulfilled with like and basically ending up being correct with like only six final group members like after like the whole chaos like finally remain it's like the scenario that I'm going to bring. So like I'm going to bring to do most likely the Riodan members of like the random group, like the random group members from like the Ariona place that would be like the precise six random group members that would be precisely like is like the scenario that I'm different. So like the six remaining six random group members, including Zero, that would be like it's finally escaping like and the except for Floro, like all the remaining five final group members that would be escaping would be like the non Ariona members of like the final group. This is definitely not the same direction. So like definitely not the same direction right now. As for like Pakunoda interrogating Squala, that the bodyguard friend of Sorafika, while Pakunoda already have it's supposed to have like basically her unique and ability using the which like Pakunoda can basically raise like the memory, recall like the memories of anyone she touches. Like basically would totally have to do with like precisely Pakunoda having like given like willfully given her Nen's ability that precise memory reading and ability to precisely follow. It's definitely my consider impression. And hence why Pakunoda is still a member of like the panel group. So like I'm very to feel like it has been willfully that Pakunoda might have given her memory reading and ability to follow, while Floro might have given in exchange like Floro might have only given some sort of a different ability to Pakunoda, which would be like the current ability that Pakunoda would be currently having, and hence that would be only would be revealed later on as definitely my consider impression. And as for like and my personal impression is that like this would be the best reason for Pakunoda even interrogating to having like the need to like even interrogate like Squala. It's definitely my personal impression like because Pakunoda currently wouldn't be having her memory reading and ability. That's definitely my personal impression. So like considering the issues that I guess especially because of this reason I'm considering that it will be perfectly explore that would be currently processing like the memory reading ability of Pathanoda would be currently with like Chloro. So like I'm considering Chloro might have even touched like Hisoka before Chloro might have even left like the final group base. So like I'm considering it might have also been like a conscious decision by Chloro to basically even after like finding out through like the Boston poem about like Hisoka stealthily even phoning and reporting about like the fandom group to the chain news or even after that like Chloro making like even like making his like declaration and decision publicly in front of while in even in presence of Hidoka to basically use it means like Chloro still not using any sort of stealth at all while even telling while making his decisions and telling like all topics to like use like the original Scarlet type to like track down the chain user and usually while declaring Chloro, even while declaring his plan to like supposedly using like the fake fake Scarlet type to like then hide the sixth member of like Chloro and so like basically heading off to like precisely track down precisely the chain user at that precise hotel and everything like the fact that Chloro even did hold that in presence of Hisoka would be precisely due to like Chloro having like already like touched Hisoka and that way like having solely read through Hisoka's memory without Hisoka even realizing it. It's definitely my very impression. So from Hisoka's point of view, Hisoka will totally like naively think that basically like the memory reading and ability would be still with like Pantanoda, but like I'm just saying like Chloro might have secretly with and like that just that like in secret like might not only gain like the ask like Pakunoda for her like memory reading and ability and Pakunoda might have willfully given it to Chloro. So like even back then like Chloro with the memory reading and ability might have been good to Chloro. So like I'm considering Chloro might not only read Hisoka's memory even back during while Chloro before Chloro even set off to like the hotel. It's definitely my personal impression. So Chloro might have totally on reading through like Hisoka's memory, Chloro might have only figured how like Hisoka is totally connected to like the chain user as well as like to go and Killua. Secondly, my second dimension. So like currently like I'm differing like Flora might be totally putting on like Flora might have been the entire time putting on a fake act and even in like the present as well Flora would be totally putting on a fake act even in front of like Gon and Killua. As if like he doubts like the possibility of like Gon and Killua having like a connection to like the chain user when in actuality like through reading his other memories like Flora might have already totally figured it out that basically Hisoka, Gon, Killua, and like the seniors are all connected. Definitely my person to emphasize. So like I'm also very maybe it will be through gaining all this knowledge that Flora only consciously might have taken the decision to head towards that perfect hotel. It's definitely my thought into the impression. Okay, so I definitely my thought into the impression right now that since even though scholars currently absolutely gone up and the possibility of survival seems the odds of the possibility of Squala survival seems absolutely and fully almost fully against Squala. Still I'm also protecting definitely for the logical from the for after Squala to still survive. And I'm also protecting right now I'm also protecting it would be by sheer lack of Squala. It's definitely my interest. Especially because I'm also protecting most likely Zeno and Silva might have definitely not even though currently they won't be the transmitted form of the rock still I'm separating they still wouldn't have left the precise your city. So I'm separating they might have definitely President Silva and might have definitely been present in the traffic. So separating them totally getting them totally seeing the Phantom Group attacking Kuala and then separating then totally that's just I'm also just just totally feeling bad for Squala, even though Zeno didn't even know at all who Squala is still I'm they're only suffering. Zeno just casually deciding to stop those three kind of group members especially Pakunoda and Portofi as well as Nobunaga and then I'm putting a fight between to take place maybe in the middle of the traffic I'm just putting a fight to break out between the team of Zeno and Silva versus the team of Pakunoda for Toby and Nobunaga. And in that fight, between Zeno and Silva only or indicating affected the life of the team of sort of Pakunoda and Nobunaga. The scenario that I'm going to bring. And that way, basically Squala still the totally due to sheer Squala still surviving. The scenario that I'm going to bring and by the emergence right now. Okay, so definitely my talking to the interesting right now with Pakanada using NEM gun to get memories to Nobunaga. Definitely that would be the ultimate trap for Nobunaga and it's definitely my personal immersion because my personal immersion right now is that that definitely won't be the actual Pakanada. Definitely my personal immersion is that Hisoka might have stealthily taken the life of Pakanada. Definitely my personal impression and then precisely Hisoka might have totally with the Pakunoda might have been precisely stealthily replaced by Hisoka by precisely Killua brother, who's definitely Illumi, certainly not goes into the records. But it's even from way back in the hundred section, it has been revealed that Illumi has the power to shape shift and turn into a different appearance. I'm only the same thing might have happened especially since even from Honda section, Hisoka has created an absolute bond of kind of a bond of friendship with Illumi and totally recurring. Hisoka might have totally brought even after Illumi had taken the life of I think the 10 rounds and even after that, precisely Hisoka might have totally found Illumi and might have totally gotten Illumi to basically help the Hisoka to bring down Chloro, bring down and spoil the planet of the name of the ceremony. So currently the precise person that that looks like Pakunoda pointing the gun at precisely Nobunaga would be precisely Illumi, definitely my person to so definitely my person to is the right now the moment Pakunoda will be using the gun on Nobunaga. At that point itself Nobunaga getting that absolute shock with Nobunaga dying. So, the scenario that I'm going to bring. And then Paul Toppy will be totally shocked. And then straight away the next target will be Paul Toppy and Paul Toppy as well in a similar manner before Paul Toppy will be escaped from will be been able to escape from Pakunoda's the scenario that I'm going to bring. And maybe I'm also predicting it would be after Pakunoda would be striking using the gun on Nobunaga that I'm also predicting either Pakunoda to explicitly make the reveal that it's not Pakunoda that is in fact Illumi and that Nobunaga basically dying with that absolute shock, shocking realization. And then Kotopi also shockingly realizing it then Kotopi just really trying to get away and run away. And but still even before Kotopi being able to escape basically Illumi taking part of this it's the one positive that I'm developing or the other positive that I'm developing is Illumi taking the life of both Nobunaga as well as Kotopi and then Illumi Pakunoda taking the life of both Nobunaga and Kotopi and then Pakunoda making this ultimate reveal that it wasn't Pakunoda, and that it's like Illumi by like Pakunoda changing her form and basically it being revealed that Illumi. It's like around like the scenario that I'm only putting right now, and my considering so like definitely my considering predictions definitely that like the current Pakunoda might be that they actually Illumi in the place, especially my considering predictions. So like right now as like Nobunaga and Kotobe are seeing like these whole memories through the then like of like that would be like totally the initial memories will be like totally that they will be right now witnessing will be definitely obviously would be like the memories of like Squala, like the bodyguard from the Sorapika definitely my person generation. But like what Idumi might have done might have been Idumi might have totally mixed like the towards the end but right now talking about like as like both in Nobunaga as well as like Otope would be seeing all the memories of like for them to like initially see go through and see all the memories of precisely like Squala and then come to the brain like before using the Nenbu like precisely like the villain of Filumi might have also added like his own his memories as well that basically he might have precisely and I'm personally only putting like most likely Filumi might have stolen like the whole memory reading ability as well. Maybe it might have been Filumi that might have taken the life of like precisely Pakunoda like that good stuff. So like I'm also putting like while taking the life before taking the life of Pakunoda like Illumi might have only stolen like Illumi might have also have like the unique then ability to like steal other people's then abilities also that name of the so like Illumi might have only stolen like precisely Pakunoda innate ability memory reading innate ability before taking Pakunoda's like the name of the and that might be how like Illumi currently just by touching Squala is able to like instantly gain all the memories of Squala. So like I'm considering like even like I'm considering for some like strange reason Illumi might have while acting as like Pakunoda might have totally interrogated like Squala's definitely my considering so definitely what Illumi in like the form of Pakunoda might have done might have been like Illumi might have only straight away read all the memories of Squala. Then like without pointlessly might have only hurt and interrogated like and then like Illumi like the disguise of Pakunoda might have only hurt and take Squala's legs and then the only thing like what like Illumi might have done might have been like while creating like the this Nen bullet like he might have like infused like the memories of memory he read through like and gained through Squala into those bullets and some might have only also combine like his own like memories as well to like that such Nen bullets as well. Definitely my personal memories and so like this is my personal memories. So like right now but only predict for like both so like right now, I'm totally preparing for both Nobunaga and Kotopi, seeing all these memories of like basically of like Squala, and then towards the end of that memory, then totally witnessing like the shocking memories of like protecting Illuminate, but as to like everything Illuminated, like as to like basically Illuminate taking the life of like Pakunoda and stealing Pakunoda's like memory, readings, net ability, and everything, and basically like and basically that would be like the final memory that like they would be seeing like both Kotobi and Nobunaga would be shockingly witnessing before they would be dying and then like them coming back to the present and realizing that it's not like Pakunoda that is like a unique um, and that they both Nobunaga as well as like Kotobi shockingly realizing that like they are dying like basically that like and that way like Nobunaga and Kotobi dying is like the scenario that right now I'm looking at all the perfect and my perfect so like definitely my person to 10% that like by the time like for Floro without being like totally at all aware of all this like I'm going to think definitely Floro right now but they're think like Floro will be totally unaware of all this. So by the time Floro would be totally making it to that precise hotel room at that point all these people and they're only person to like totally fully corner like Floro and Shizuku definitely my person to 10% and I'm also leaning to like the possibility that precisely also that female panel crew member as well might be like at that point only betraying Floro and Chifuku, definitely also my consideration. So at that point, I was putting into scenario that I'm still thinking to, and for the third thing is that it's basically for like just Floro and Chifuku in that hotel room being surrounded by like the team of like Surapika, Shizuka, Illumi, Gon, Killua, and that female panel club member, and Leorio. Like only these much people like only surrounding and cornering. just Cloro and Chizuku. It's like the eventual ultimate trap of like a scenario that I'm going to bring in right now in this video. So okay, so like definitely going to the impression right now. I've got like Cloro saying like three comrades left after like Pakunoda memory reading report of Squala. Like I'm going to think it might have to do with like multiple possible scenarios that they might consider. I'm predicting like three possibilities. Like one of these like the three comrades left the dialogue of Solo might be hinting at might be actually hinting at like basically like the precise three comrades of like the changes are being like precisely like melody and like the other bodyguard friend of like Kurapika and like the hulky like bodyguard friend of Kurapika as well as like Elisa being like the kind of like especially because like Elisa being like the being close to Squala like that way like basically those three being like the three like comrades that are remaining for like Rolo to like take the life of so like but like this is only like the least likely possibility that we are going to represent. The more likely possibility that I'm going to represent as for like whom exactly Rolo might have only met by like when he said like three comrades left might have I'm leaning more towards the possibility that like the three comrades left of like the same user being either Gon Kilua and Leorio or like Gon Kilua and Hisoka. It's definitely my commentary about that. So especially because like the right now those are different, it might have been especially like at the current moment when Pakunoda had read the memories of Koala and had seen Kurapika's like image about Kurapika's appearance like maybe at that point might have been like the instant connection might have been for like Pakunoda because like the last time Pakunoda had read the memories of like basically Killua, like I'm remembering like while Killua and Gon had been like initially captured by the Phantom and back then Pakunoda might have totally read the memories of Killua and while reading the memories of Killua, Pakunoda might have only seen the very same character. Karapika visually expressions like Pakunoda's memory reading can is basically visually visible to Pakunoda as like watching through a TV like that Liam was remembering Pakunoda the first time Pakunoda might have even seen like the character. Karapika might have been precisely back then when Pakunoda might have already like Killio's memories back then. So it's definitely my first impression. So like currently right now it's like that very same memory of like Kurapika once again being visible as like and being confirmed as like the chain user like that might have been like an instant connection to like Pakunoda, instant revelation to Pakunoda. So like Pakunoda right now through this like phone conversation in like the present to Flora might have particularly already revealed that basically Gon and Kindu are totally connected to like the same user and not comrades of the same user. So like I'm remembering back in like the past when Pakunoda had captured like both Gon and Killua. And back then, when Pakunoda had read the memory of Killua, like at that point, precisely what the precise memory in like Killua's mind that Pakunoda, the first section of like, the memory in like Killua's mind that Pakunoda might have read, might have been like, precisely the section of memory in Killua's mind where like Killua, how Killua met Gon, the initial part of like the Hunter section, how Killua had met Gon and made friendship with like Gon and Leorio and Killua and Kurapika basically Killua making friendship with like the friendship being formed during like the Hunter section from Killua with like Gong as well as Leo and Kurapika. That way, like so that could be like possibly like the three remaining comrades left of like the changes are being like potentially gone Killua as well as Leo. Especially my thoughts on the other, especially it's like back in like the memories of Killua during like the days of like their Thunder section, like during them especially since like Hisoka was like such a villain and like was like such an enemy to like Gon to Killua back then. And Gon not only to Killua but like to Gon and Killua as well as like Leorio as well as Kurapika back then during the Hunter section. So that maybe like back then while Gon and Killua were captured by the Phantom Troop like and back then when Pakunoda had read like the memory of like Killua like Pakunoda might have only saw that section alone. So like Pakunoda might even after reading Kindo's memories, like Pakunoda might have genuinely be believing that basically Hisoka is like Hisoka has absolutely no other connection than being like participating like the same under system and Hisoka is like totally is not at all a comrade or anything or not at all working with them but like was like totally against them in like the and have like an immunity towards them in like the past. It's like the one possibility that I'm personally totally different. So if that's the case, then especially since like during the Hunter's exam, I was like totally like being like the absolute enemy to like Don and Leorio and Urapika and Silva. So like I'm preferring precisely because of this like the precise three comrades that Floro would be talking about right now would precisely might be like Don, Silva and Leorio. It's like one possibility that I'm preferring. The other possibility that I'm preferring is like even through even back then when Killua and Gon had been captured by the Panther Group, and back then once like Pakunoda had read Killua's memories, like Pakunoda might have read like while reading through like Killua's memories, like Pakunoda might have seen the section in like Killua's memories where like precisely before heading to like the where like precisely uh, after like the Zoldyck family, like after saving Killua from like the Zoldyck family. Especially after that, basically when Kurapika had, I think, like had a reveal to like Gon Kilo and Leore about like the York new option, how like Shizuoka had, I think, like had Kurapika had back then revealed to them that basically Shizuoka had sent them this message to like specifically show up to like the York new option, especially on this very exact page. And so, like that way, like if Pakunoda had seen that memory section of in like Kill's mind of that dialogue of Sorafika telling, revealing to like Gon Killua and the way about like Hisoka telling them to like meet up and like precisely during this time in like your option 10 and was that only one thing like precisely Pakunoda might have totally been able to like figure out that basically Hisoka is totally a comrade of like the chain user, and as well as like the comrades of like the chain user are like basically Hisoka and Gon and Killua. And Leorio as well would be like seen as like a comrade, but still Ambrose different since Leorio, even after like in like making it to like the York Nose symptom, like Leorio had like Leorio never showed up in any place where like concerning like the Phantom Pro. Since like the Phantom, none of like the members of like the Phantom Pro have never even seen Leorio in York Nose City or like Leorio have like haven't like made any sort of like trouble with like the Phantom Pro at all in like the Local city, maybe like Pakunoda, like maybe like even after Pakunoda might have revealed all this and reported all this right now to like Floro. Floro deciding to like explore Leorio and Floro might have only seen Leorio like harmless. So like the three remaining comrades left for like the chain user that like Floro would be totally planning to like annihilate and take the life of fully precisely being like Gon Silva as well as like Hisoka. It's like the other possibility that I'm personally only predict and my person theory and predict. So like definitely my person theory and prediction right now is like Floro totally giving the order to like Pakunoda to like totally for them to like totally meet up in like that precise hotel and totally predicting like what Floro currently would be totally planning would be to like precisely once they would be meeting up at like the hotel to precisely use Pakunoda to like precisely read once again read like the memory of not just Killua like and read like the entire memory this time of not only Killua but also Gon would be like Floro's plan. So that like Floro would like totally be updated as to like everything that has happened behind the scenes without like Floro realizing while Gon and Killua and like most likely this entire time like the entire plan that Gon and Killua had as long as like the change user would have like made until right now basically so that like Floro would be like well and fully prepared. This is definitely my percentage impression. And also since like through Pakunoda's like reporting of like the changes are being definitely most likely being like comrade of like Gon Kid most likely being comrades of the changes around the different Floro will be also planning on basically once meeting up at like the hotel to basically use Pakunoda to that way through reading like the memories of Kindu and Gon to like totally reveal on top of like reveal what for Floro that way to like find out what strategical trap or plan like the chain user will be like planning on setting up for like Floro and the final group right now. And on top of that, like the most crucial point of like basically through reading like the current present memories of like Gon as entire memories of Gon and Killua, like Floro might be totally expecting to be able to like figure out what the exact ability and ability of like the Nen abilities and the powers of like the changes of even if so that like at that point like Doro would have like absolutely nothing to worry because like it would definitely that explains uncertainty as to like how exactly uh uncertainty as to like how exactly the chain user work actually and so easily able to like especially defeat like one of like the strongest band group members who work in that would be totally a thing that a factor that would totally have like a lot of deep down a bit uneasy concern to the chain user certainly not in the so like figuring this out would be having that much of an extreme priority in like a lot of mind. So like to do all that, to figure all this out to you, there's a reason for like a lot of totally planning with like even the order to like Pakunoda to like meet up with like lot of at the precise uh hotel. This is definitely my personal theory and permission. So like certainly into the impression right now is definitely for that plan of chlorophyll like definitely not end up being possible for chloro. Certainly not anything like this. Before like Parthenoid, I'm definitely predicting that chloro not being able to like definitely use Parthenoid to like read like through like the entire physical memory of like Killua, the present day Killua as well as going to figure out like Kurapika's powers and everything, all the and everything, all the plan that like the changes are currently with the planning and all that, like definitely Chloro or late being unable to like achieve that is definitely my talking to them. Especially because like I'm looking for two possibilities. Either it would be like something happening to like the team of like Pakunoda, Nobunaga and Kotopi that will be heading to like that surprise hotel. And Hisoka possibly having like a role to play in that. Like and that way like them not being able to like make it to like the hotel. Just like the scenario that I'm considering once like at Loro will be making it to the hotel, like the same as Sarkanodam not making it to like the hotel. That's like one possibility that possible scenario that I'm considering for like the second possible scenario that I'm looking is definitely for like the team of Sarkanodam making it to the hotel, but like the team of Loro and crew like not being able to like make it to like the hotel with like John and Killua. Even before that, like something to like happen like Kurapika pulling some sort of a strategy that would be eventually resulting in like John and Killua somehow being able to like escape. It's like the scenario that I'm about to bring us that way, like that resulting in like totally like I'm going to protect maybe for like a crowd to happen be present somewhere and that Kurapika only taking advantage of like the entire crowd present precisely that way get to create like an escape for like Don and Killua and that way like Don and Killua only escaping like the captivity of like Law. It's like the other possible scenario that I'm referring. So like I'm still only particularly most likely through one of these two possibilities that or possible scenario that I'm only referring definitely for Chloro to definitely not be able to like get Bones as well as like Killua to precisely to like meet up with like Pakunoda in that hotel location and being Chloro not at all being that way not at all being able to like read through like the present memories of Killua as well as Bones through Pakunoda. It's like the definite scenario that I'm only referring and my personal theory and prediction. Or the other possibility that I'm possibly only for thing is definitely for like Gon and Killua, like escape being possible precisely through that precise female fan group and she had even recently had even told Frollo when Frollo even told her that like Floro told later her like hunch like at that point itself like her even responding back to Frollo to like not trust her to that extent like basically might have to do with like her having like theater alliance with like Hisoka. Just like her having that soft corner towards like Hisoka totally was likely having taken advantage of it and like totally that way manipulating her and getting her to like Hisoka's side and that way experiencing like she is like the first kind of member that using her spring power has have held so that they go on as well as Killua as and maybe like during like a crowd like situation like basically her totally taking advantage of that situation to like certainly escape along with like Gon and Killua and that way betray Floro. That way like things totally backfiring Floro's plan totally backfiring on Floro. It's like the other possible scenario through this it's definitely another thing to remember. Okay, so like definitely the impression right now for like Killua totally thinking that like the best option to bring down like the final truth would be to precisely cover the highs and yes like I'm totally thinking might totally have to do with like precisely like the practical trap that like the team of like Kurapika Gon and Killua and definitely Leoria as well would be totally in on this plan and hence why Leoria would be like all of it right now rushing to head to that precise hotel so also that they may put into embrace so according to the plan I'm totally putting like once definitely like Rolo would be like entering that surprise hotel room and will be definitely they will be cutting off the power, and that way like covering their eyes would be like essentially meaning like turning the by cutting off like the entire power supply of like that hotel, like turning like the entire hotel down that way, totally cutting off the vision, while it's solely due to like Don Kindua as well as like Torafika and all of them like totally prepared and prepared with that trap. Like they would be precisely knowing like where and how to like move. So like they will have totally studied like the path and the rooms of like the hotels that to such extremes that they would be even able to like move even through the darkness. While they will be totally fitting like Chloro and like the remaining like and the other two kind of members since they are like uh, they won't be like expecting such a trap like will be around the lines like Sorapika gone and all of them would kill and all of them would be thinking so like I'm wondering they would be getting the advantage that way and that would be like covering their eyes and as for like covering their ears and probably only it might only have to do with like Shilva especially because of like how precisely like it might have been precisely like a melody like precisely centered to or like melody like noticing like Shilva's like silent assassin footsteps like basically when like Melody had noticed that and told to like Killua about it, like I'm considering at that point it might have been simply Killua's idea to like precisely teach Killua like silent movement steps, basically to precisely go on for Apika as well as even Melody, like Killua and even Leore, like Killua might have taught all of them like and trained all of them to like precisely move with that almost perfect silence. So definitely through that almost perfect silence step, definitely my was the main measure. And on top of that, like they would be precisely according to that, and that way like covering like the kind of eyes and ears. And on top of like that, they would be according to the trap of like Korapic and crew, like they would be also planning to like precisely as like the light, the power will be cut off and like the light, the hotel will be turning dark, like precisely for all of them to like precisely use like their like in like their ability to that so I think like it's like the ability to like completely shut off like their nen aura as well, and that way like so that way, like totally by covering the eyes and covering the ears of like the Panato and also using like Z2 as well covers like when they might pick their aura as well to that absolute maximum that way by shutting off their aura as well, like it leads to totally with that absolute assassin like stealth for them to like precisely take out like the Phantom Group. Chloro and like the two Phantom Group members would be like precisely their plan, especially members in the Emerald. So definitely, I'm considering definitely like Hisoka as well, most likely in time, like maybe like Hisoka showing up in time, or like maybe Hisoka would have that like maybe like even with by doing all that, like still Cloro still being able to like outsmart still even though initially Cloro would and like the two members would be struggling in the hotel, like still Cloro eventually still being able to like get the upper hand and still being able to like outsmart all of them, and but maybe it would be at that point that precisely Hisoka would be finally making such like grand entrance and like maybe it would be then that like the one would be from Flora versus Hisoka fight really happening. So like until that point, like even through this entire craft that Kurapika and all of them would have set for like Flora and the two kind of two members like still I was remembering initially though the trap would be like working out like still initially I was remembering Flora totally still getting the upper hand and then I was remembering like the whole Kurapika versus Flora fight to eventually like switch to like the side of Flora. Uh, as like Laura will be totally off scoring and Laura will be about to take Kurapika's life and that like last second like none of them like gone and none of them would be able to like save Kurapika. They would all be like in such a situation, badly injured like situation. And that point possibly being like the point where like Hisoka would be making his grand entrance and that being like the point where like the whole one versus one floor of Hisoka fight even begins. It's like the other possible scenario that I'm going to roll and my person to or like I'm going to it might actually have to do with like the strategy of like Kurapika totally ends up quickly working out but still I'm considering when things would be totally looking up for like Kurapika like and Pro like at that point possibly being like precisely when Pakunoda and Pro like Pakunoda and Nobunaga and the team of like Pakunoda and Nobunaga and Kotopi will be heading to like that surprise hotel. Things would be something like precisely for Kurapika and Pro would be able to like foresee or like realize that that would be totally unexpected for like for Kurapika and team. So That being like the point where like the tide of the battle totally switching in the favor of like Loro. It's also like the other positive that Amber Gibbering. But still, then Amber Gibbering is like maybe it will be after that, like especially Hisoka will be showing up, and once again like the tide shifting, eventually shifting in like solely due to like Hisoka like enters like the tide once again shifting in precisely precisely like for African group favor. It's also like a positive that Amber Gibbering. And especially since like, it would be like since it's like a hotel room, like I'm preferring since it's like a compact like place, like I'm preferring coffee so it would be like precisely easier to like even if like the odds are against them and like the numbers of independent group members at that point would be great. Like still I'm preferring for Hisoka. I'm considering it's Hisoka would be having that knack to like precisely in like such a contained place to like take out like the phantom troop while for like the phantom troop members like it would be like a disadvantage fighting in such a enclosed space will be like a kind of like a disadvantage to bring out the troop powers and strength and abilities. So that as well eventually resulting in like it being like eventually being favorable and advantages to like to Kurapika campaign. It's also like an eventual scenario that I'm able on it. And also I'm still sticking to my present impression that like as per like Kurapika strategy, order strategy, strategy and positive also predicting like still sticking to my present prediction of like the possibility of definitely Silva and Beno still haven't not left like the university and still possibly being part of like Kurapika and Gon and all of the ultimate master strategical plan and attack on like the final group and maybe during that like eventually like Silva as well as Beno as well would be making their run sort of like a possible scenario that eventual scenario that I'm also still predicting and still sticking on to as like a possibility setting a possibility and but like my personal impression that when still singing on to especially that melody or like center two is definitely eventually going to die and that would be most likely taking place precisely during that whole entire final total ambush attack. Like I'm preparing it would be precisely then during that whole attack definitely just like through Killua's like words like definitely like reveal that definitely melody definitely has like a major role to play that whole trap ambush attack on like the kind of group in like the hotel like ambush it was especially during that ambush attack that ambush did all these things. Eventually their attempts eventually at a certain point like totally backfiring with like especially like either Floro or like one of like the kind of group members like taking melodies like it's like definitely eventual scenario that ambush did all the topic and never to remember. Okay, so like definitely also my personal impression right now as for like the perfect stealthy, absolute stealthy signal that they like Killua is like so desperately looking for to like perfectly signal to like all the other melody and for Africa and everyone who would be like stealthily around them like under shipping as for like the precise location that like Floros like taking and on until what to that is being like the research hotel as well as like as for like for them to like precisely figure out to decide like when to attack and all that like certainly I'm considering for how exactly to out the figuring out like how to signal would be precisely through I'm considering it will be precisely through Killua's watch like I'm considering Killua will be most likely having a watch so like I'm considering since like the city would be having lights all over like I'm considering Killua totally most likely using the watch to like reflect the lights and basically that way like most likely will be how like Kurapika, the team of like Kurapika Melody and like the other bodyguard as well as like Killua, all of them would be like communicating with that absolute stealth would be with this through like Killua's watch. Definitely my personal impression. So like definitely my personal impression right now is that like precisely according to like Kurapika and all of that plan like precisely like at 7 o'clock like the like power supply being cut off and basically the hotel turning dusk and at that moment itself like precisely all of them attacking like launching their ambush attack on like the final group like on Floro and like the two other final group members is certainly my personal impression but like I'm still couldn't just be like a simple attack in like the darkness just by like the group of like Kurapika, Gon, Killua, Leorio, and the other bodyguard friend of Kurapika as well as Melody. It wouldn't just be like this simple team that would be like simple but like kind of like weak team that would be even attacking like Floro as well as like the two female band members is definitely my personal recommendation. It would be definitely they would be definitely having like stealthily, precisely Silva as well as Zeno would be like precisely showing up at that precise moment. Like the lights would be turning off and precisely when it's like 7 o'clock, precisely Silva as well as Zeno would be like entering like the building, that hotel building at that moment itself too. And definitely would be part of like Kurapika. Kurapika's like stealthy ambush attack on like the Panoply to bring down the Panoply to definitely about the ring. And then definitely totally protecting right now definitely for like Silva as well as then also like not the like anywhere near like that portal right now, especially because like even if like this will maybe like they might fear like the possibility of like uh, of like Krolov and Krolov actually detecting their problem. So like I'm delivering right stuff even with like only 5 minutes remaining. I'm delivering currently like Silva and when as well as like it's an would be like that perfect distance where they wouldn't be able to be sensed by especially Floro and like the two kind of remember was definitely my room today. So like precisely at 7 o'clock they would be like joining in on that ambush attack on like Floro and like the two kind of remember like scenario that I'm doing. But still, even with that, like and initially I'm was only but like still remember the push that initially like Kurapika's strategy is totally working out and then getting the upper hand, but like to be precisely once like the team of like Nobunaga, Pakunoda, as well as Kotopi will be showing up to like that to that hotel. That would be like the most unexpected scenario for African team. So like at that point, like the tides changing, and then finally Shizuoka making his like grand entrance, and that way once at that point, like finally once again like the tide shifting to for Africa and teams like favor, and that way that will be how like the final members will be like brought down. But still, even with all that, like Floro still finally succeeding in like escaping, just like the eventual scenario that I'm bring and those events. Also, like, I can still stick into my other possible theory as well. That basically also so the president of like Hisoka had even bothered to like make like a kind of like a friendship with like a certain Illumi even back during like the 100 and but they're only by the time that like by the time Hisoka and Illumi parted ways towards like the end of the 100 and but the Hisoka exactly like Hisoka had like basically like kind of like revealed about like the Yokuno option or something about like Yokuno during Hisoka's fight against like Kurapika. Eventually with the precise exact plan to like precisely eventually get Kurapika and Gon and Killua to like the Yokuno city. Especially during this time for like the Yokuno option to bring down the fan. So could be definitely my person to remember. Like to really exactly like Hisoka even way back then did put up such an attempt for this moment like I'm considering exactly like that. Like Hisoka would be like someone who didn't like would just let slide like the possibility of being able to like take total advantage of his like friendship with like Illumi as well. So like that friendship that he made with like Illumi back during like the under the gun. So like I'm considering by the time Hisoka had pathways with like Illumi definitely Hisoka might not also even reveals to like Illumi to and told Illumi to like definitely show up to the precise York City precisely during this around this exact time is definitely on the children. And Hisoka exactly like Hisoka secretly met how Hisoka secretly met with like and interacted with the Kurapika. Hisoka might have also like secretly met with and interacted with like Illumi as well. After like precisely Illumi had like basically taken the life of like certain down to definitely not the members. So like and the definitely while during the like ultimate ambush attacks on like the standard group that would be like Floro and the two and like his standard group that would be taking place in this hotel. And particularly eventually once like Hisoka would be making his like grand entrance and starting like most likely for Illumi as well to like make that surprise grand entrance along with like Hisoka during that great exact moment. It's also like an eventual scenario that I'm leaning more towards like the possibility of happening is definitely my personal impression.